Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That is Tyler.
What it is, sir?
It's Monday. It is August the 12th. 12 days till the start of the college football season. The week 0 games. I never understood why they call them week 0, by the way. It's week 1. You're playing, it's week 1. But whatever. I don't care. It's not a big deal. SEC teams start in... Do my math.
Thursday.
17 days? Yeah, 17
Thursday
days.
plus 3.
Yep. And then the rest of the SEC starts 2 days later. So
let's ride. Let's go.
Missouri and Arkansas, the first 2 teams to play on that Thursday night. So we're gonna we'll jump into our show in a minute. Got a lot going on. The Olympics are over. Tyler's very sad that the Olympics are done.
Who's excited? Who's excited? I'm excited. We're all excited.
Everyone's excited.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it's over with. We'll talk about it when we get started, but it's been the I'm ready to move on. It's time to find something else to watch. Or I could have been watching the Braves blow a 6-run lead in the 8th last night. That was
I heard about that.
Yeah,
I heard
was
about
fun.
that.
To the Rockies of all people.
Hey man, baseball's a weird game. It happens.
Yeah, I'm no miracle this year. I think my man AA has used up. I think he used up all of his luck in that 21 season. So no last. Even though Soler went yard, I think twice yesterday, but they just
is he back with the Braves?
Mm-hmm. Got Soler, Rosario. They brought everybody back except for my man Jock. They literally brought the entire crew. Brought Luke back, Luke Jackson. They brought everybody back, and Luke proceeded to throw about.
It's kind of like going to a high school reunion and expecting it to be like it was.
Well, the first 21 was like the 3-year class reunion.
Yeah.
This one's
still fresh.
Yeah, still fresh. This one's like the 46-year.
Yeah, and it's not fresh anymore.
They're not the same.
People are gone.
Luke's fastball got a little flat on him yesterday. Yeah. So here's your kickoff. What did you think after watching the kickoff for a weekend?
I still think it's stupid.
Well, now you see the new thing is like you remember
I'm not even sure I really understand it to this moment, which makes me feel stupid. But I've watched it a few times, and I'm like, I don't understand it.
Well,
which makes me think if I don't understand it as much football as we talk about and watch, I wonder
if anybody understands it, including people playing.
So what the hell game is this? I mean, what in the hell is this?
Well, you put it on TV. What is it?
It told me it was a soccer game.
It is soccer. It's soccer and volleyball.
This appears to be...
This is like handball for beach volleyball.
Yeah. Well, this is... Except you can't use your hands once the ball...
Yeah, it's soccer and volleyball mixed.
Well, that is the dumbest damn thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I would... Olympic breakdancing would be up there.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, the adjustment that everybody made on the kickoff from week 1 to till now to this week was, they were looking back to see when their guy caught the ball, but they realized, like we were talking about on the show last week, when they turned around, they ran by him. Now they're watching the guy in front of them move, and so there's people late. I mean, it's a complete shit show. It's gonna take forever.
All right,
let's crank her up. Let's crank it up.
Welcome into episode 195 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Monday, August the 12th. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend as we get closer and closer to the start of the football season. Tyler, how are you?
I'm doing great, Neal. Today, Neal, I'm rocking with the Valencia Orange. It's one of the last ones I got. I've been crushing these. This is my favorite kind of morning, early afternoon. I will go the Kiwi Lime later on in the afternoons. Man, this is a Florida Orange.
A Florida Orange.
In the can. It's good stuff. Speaking of, our guy Bob, he is on his way to SoCal. He's got to go to corporate headquarters for the week, and then he's been traveling. I think he was in Mexico last week. He's got to go to SoCal this week, and then he'll be back. So safe travels. I can't wait. We're going to try to get a little golf excursion together later on in the fall. So excited.
Well, if y'all ever need a caddy who knows nothing about golf but just can drive a cart and drink beer, I'm your guy.
You probably read those greens better than that guy did me that day. He told me to putt. It was the first time I played.
I will be more than happy to read the greens for you.
We had a real caddy, It's the first time I'd ever played on a course like that, ever. Yeah. And Bob was just laughing. Bob still laughs about it. I had not played in a while. It was the week of the Masters. We played the Friday. We were in Augusta, played at the Champions Retreat, where they just played the women's amateur. And so they had caddies, right? So we go out there, and like I think it was the first or second hole. I hadn't played in a while, but I get on the green in regulation, but I had a long putt. And the guy was like, putt it right here. You want to just trickle it to right here. I literally could not have gone and dropped the ball in a better spot, which was very unusual for me because it takes me a while to get my hands on the green. I putted the damn thing. It hits the slope and goes off. I putted it off the damn green. And it rolled like 60 yards back in the fairway. Bob was just crying, laughing at me. So, yeah, I actually, it's the first time in my life, I shouldn't say that. My man, Matt Luke, could probably remember about 10, but it's the first time in a long time I actually putted one off the green.
Like I said, you need me to read greens, I will read greens. I can't promise I'll read them well, but I'll look at them and go, hey, hit it there.
Tell me about Rain there, Neal.
We are brought to you by our friends at Rain. Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So please check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. You can get right now at Cooper Chevrolet over 70 qualified pre-owned vehicles priced to sale today. Get amazing finance offers eligible for all certified used imports and domestic cars, trucks, and SUVs. Call the guys at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. That's area code 256-236-4481. I'm going to remind everybody, I had to call a guy, Brandon at, I started to say Brendan like Brendan Chapman. My guy Brandon at PTG Outdoors, new sponsor. I was laughing because I was having a tough time reading the email because I got it right before we came on the show. So I came prepped today. So the guys at PTG Outdoors, they are Camus Boats dealers. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronics with Garmin, Humminbirds, and Lowrance products. I'll tell you about that in a second. Get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where we replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. They have locations in Grenada, Mississippi, and Northport, Alabama. But here's more importantly, if you need anything, if you want to help the show out, you want to help our friends out at PTG Outdoors, go to their online store at ptgoutdoors.com, or you can call them at 662-459-9311. Yeah, so Brandon called me, and then I didn't realize it because I had it, the font, I had it up when we read it for the first time. I got it right before we walked in, and I was just reading, and I saw an A instead of an O, and I should have known better. Like, I know what that is.
Yeah.
I read it Lawrence instead of Lowrance. So make sure you go to ptgoutdoors.com. Check them out. We're going to blow this thing up.
You had an Anchorman moment.
I had an Anchorman moment.
F you, San Diego.
Hey, but I'm challenged like that, so it is what it is. But hey, the guys at PTG Outdoors, the online store is awesome. So if you need anything fishing wise, go see that. You can get literally anything you need right now for fishing. And hey, got something coming for you here in a few weeks that's going to offer our hunters. Going to be really good. So good stuff.
Shout out to my guy Matthew Jones in the stream, laid up on his couch after knee surgery. Says full leg cast.
Oh, let's go.
Dude, that's intense.
What did we have? What kind of surgery?
Hope the knee gets better.
Is it knee surgery?
Yeah, he said knee surgery. All I can tell you is just don't be a hero. Take your time.
Knee replacement for a full cast?
It wouldn't be a full cast on knee replacement. That feels like something bigger than that.
That's a serious deal. Full leg cast.
But whatever it is, man, just follow the rules. Do your rehab. Don't try to be a hero. One day at a time. Good Lord willing, things will work out.
All the coaching cliches. Just watch any press conference that you would like, and it would tell you.
But you know what? There's a lot of truth to that. If they tell you 6 weeks,
sometimes.
Well,
I'm not. Your boy.
No, but your problem is that you have a tendency to have a disconnect between the 19 and 20-year-old elite athletes that you worked with and a 50-year-old dude.
I do.
And I'm just gonna tell you. The 50-year-old guy doesn't heal like the 19-year-old elite athlete.
I know. But
it's just not the same.
I always would laugh. I said if I ever wanted my $1 million idea, when you sit around when you're younger and you like come up with $1 million ideas. This is before I started my business, but hey, my original $1 million idea is when I was coaching at St. Paul's. You could like stub your toe. Parents were going to take you to the doctor. And you'd never failed. You'd come back with one of those walking boots. It'd be like 6 to 8 weeks. And so I would beg any player that I ever had, like, dude, look, if you sprain your ankle, you roll your ankle, let's go see our trainer and do it that way. Because if you go to the doctor, if you go home and tell mom that my ankle hurts, I rolled my ankle, she's taking you to the doctor, you're getting a boot, and it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. Like, dude, I said, they were issuing out those boots like Tic Tacs, man. I'm talking about, that was the school shoe at St. Paul's was the boot. I mean, there were more boots. I said, somebody's just writing that off, man. Just killing insurance.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about that.
All right, let's get rolling. Won't be here long today. All right, so I don't know if you saw this or not, but I was very frustrated in the moment, and I got to talk about it. It's a golf, so I know you may have saw it on social media. So Matt Kuchar pulled off one of the most eye roll, like kiss my ass moments in the history of sports yesterday. Matt Kuchar, who is known to be probably an asshole. There's been a lot of asshole stories about him over the years, way he's treated his caddies and stuff like that. So yesterday this is the final tournament before they start the playoffs. Okay, so everybody there is trying to make the playoffs and get eligible for the FedEx Cup and for the St. Jude's Open this weekend, right?
Okay.
And so,
I just assumed you were talking about like Olympic golf. I had no idea.
This is PGA Tour.
No clue.
And so I wagered on the tournament. I had Aaron Rai, which I hit, Neal, plus 3,000. Let's go. So I'm vested in this thing because I have a win bet on Aaron Rai, and I have DraftKings fantasy going. So they don't play at all because of the hurricane going through the coast, and they were in Greensboro, North Carolina before, because of the hurricane, completely washed out on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So now they got to fit a 4-day tournament into 3 days.
Yep.
And so they played Friday, Saturday, and pretty much got the second round completed to make the cut. And then on Sunday, they got up first thing daylight, put them on groups of 3, both tees, everybody that made the cut, and they played 36 holes.
Yeah.
Okay. Neal, I'm like, there's no way they're getting us in. And it was like at hole 9, it started getting dark. Well, they get all the way through. Matt Kuchar's in the final group, not having a good day. All right. He's like tied for 12th. And they get the whole thing through. Aaron Rai, the guy I bet on, was in the group before. He finishes up. He's going to win the tournament. All right. They go and they tee off on 18. He gets down there, and here's where I was getting pissed off is because you could tell on 17 and 16, because he's in the last group, they're showing him, he was like taking his time. I'm like, bro, you're not winning the tournament. You're not making the playoffs. Let's go. He's wanting to have a freaking, dissertation between every shot. And his playing partners were playing fast. And even the guy that was contending, Grayson, who was contending for the win. They tee off on 18, Neal, and he gets down there and he says, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. He literally has to hit the ball on the green and in 2-putt like it's a 5-minute process. And he says, I'm done. Meanwhile, there was no horn because they assume in the PGA with darkness and all that stuff, his playing partners finish. And so he's just sitting there watching them like he could have played. And this is why it's a dick move. One, do you know how many people probably had to get up and they were not planning to go? They were volunteers or whatever.
Oh, sure.
They had to show up today.
He didn't care.
For his one, he literally hit the shot into the green. It was short. He chipped up. He made 3 shots today.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people had to get up for him?
I mean, a bunch.
I mean, it's probably, I would imagine it was 30, 40, I'm guessing, people that had to get up and change their day. So you can go make 3 fucking shots. Hope we made it 5 minutes. That's terrible.
We're there.
Well, so here's why I was irritated, was because DraftKings is not giving you your money
until the tournament's
over. So I got hit. I got paid. I made it. I won and got it the Saturday, like at lunch today. But I'm like, you're holding up a bunch of people. Yeah. So you can go out there and, hey, this goes out
do what you would have done anyway.
Hey, this goes out to Matt Kuchar. Hey, congratulations. Hey, congratulations on your 12th place finish at the Wyndham Championship. And I'm glad congratulations on your 130th place FedEx Cups for this year. That's freaking terrible, man. And he's a vet. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a new guy. Guy's been doing this for a minute. Like, what a dick. I'm sorry. What a dick. I used to like the guy. Now I hope he misses every cut for the rest of his career. And then he's like 5 months away from going to the seniors tour. I hope he gets cut in the senior tour. I hope they don't even let him on the tour.
Wow.
It's terrible.
It's intense.
It's just a bad deal, man. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad that.
All right.
I'm glad that I'm able to go through life without ever having a strong opinion about anything.
Well, that's just terrible.
I mean,
like
you've probably seen me on Twitter. I'm the picture of calm.
You're out of the tournament, dog. There's nothing that's going, like, if he made it 8, I mean, the only thing that mattered was prize money. Well, the guy's not missing any prize money. He's been playing for 75 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing since before the
No,
Reagan
he was just
administration.
in a bad mood, decided to take it out on people.
He hit the ball in the rough.
He was mad.
And the one who should have been mad, which I would like to also at the same time say thank you to Gracerman. He had a 4-shot lead, Neal, and he knocks like literally from the fairway, eagles, and I was like, it's over. Has a 4-shot lead. My man had it quad bogey and brought my man Aaron Wright back into play, and then 4-putted on 16 or 17. So I got lucky. All right, I was talking to you about this before the show. I'm very glad that the Olympics are over. It has become routine. It doesn't matter if it's winter. And for those that don't know, my wife was a college gymnast. So the Olympics are very reverend at our house. My wife takes them very seriously. She wanted me to talk about gymnastics today. I just said I just refused. So I'm already on the couch because I just refused to talk about it.
Chase talked about it this morning. So the controversy.
Yes, I will tell her to go listen to the Oxford Exxon podcast if she wants to hear the gymnastics discussion. But I am glad it's over because every night, Neal, this turned into ever since gymnastics goes the first week.
Yeah.
The day that gymnastics is over with, we still watch it every night. And it turns into a 3-hour fest of my wife telling me that she could do that. She could still go do that. And I'm just like, babe, we're way past our prime. And she was a phenomenal athlete in her day.
Yeah.
In her day. But our day has been long gone, Neal.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it started with the breakdancing. She 100%.
Well, she probably could have done that.
She 100% believes
I'm Team Aaron.
She could go right now at 46 and be on the Australian breakdancing team.
I'm Team Aaron there for sure.
That was bad. I know.
Point Aaron.
But this is where she lost me. She said that she could be she could do the heptathlon. I was like, babe.
Aaron probably
babe.
Not. Probably not.
Hey, babe. Probably not. This was every night. So I'm glad that
there probably was a day she could have.
There was a day.
That day has passed.
The day has passed about 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, probably. I had to check up age. 20 years ago. But anyway.
I got a couch downstairs.
Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. All right, let's get to some football.
This is where I benefit from. We were having a conversation in our house the other day. Something came up about Laura and the girls and something, and it was about living in a SEC town and how many SEC games have you been to?
How many have you been to that you didn't work?
Me? Oh, how many SEC games have I been to that I didn't work? 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The girls, I went to Kyo Dad's weekend. I've seen Arkansas and Mississippi State twice.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Laura has been to.
That's a game I couldn't go to. I'd have a headache between the woo and the cowbells.
Well,
I'd leave
the good news last year, the final score was 7-3. There was no woo and there was no cowbell. It was just all you heard was an official go, shh, and the dude behind me going,
special teams alert, punt alert.
I can't believe this is happening. You know, she's been to 2 games in 16 years here. I think she stayed to halftime once. Yeah, so it's the benefit that I have in my world, and I think it is a benefit, is that she's not a sports fan, and the girls aren't sports fans. And while Carson's a sports fan, it's more soccer and basketball. So, I mean, he never asked me anything about it. So, like, when the Olympics come on, unless I turn it on, it's not getting turned on, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
So I watched some of the track and field. Shelby McEwen from Oxford.
Yeah, we watched that. Yeah.
The high jump, he ended up with the silver. He was basically tied for the gold, and they did a jump off, and I think fatigue got him. But still, an incredible accomplishment. Finished with the silver medal, and they
getting up too.
Yeah, stud. And then I watched a good bit of the gold medal women's soccer game, and I watched a good bit of the gold medal men's basketball game.
Okay,
and that was about the extent of my Olympic viewing.
I watched a ton, but that was just it was either that or Real Housewives, so I voted Olympics. So there you go. All right, let's get some football. All right, so start this thing off. We got to talk about this. This is great. So got some hand raised guy here, okay, but Jim Harbaugh coming back to Michigan as freshly, literally the day after the NCAA issues his 4-year show calls.
Yeah.
Michigan invites him, and he accepted to
Of
be
course.
the honorary captain
Hell yeah.
at the Michigan opening game on August the 31st. That will be while they're bye week, while they're getting ready to play.
Yeah. You can jump on a plane to Ann Arbor and back. You'd be fine.
Piece of cake.
Absolutely.
Piece of cake. So this is Michigan flipping the proverbial bird.
And not proverbial. Straight bird.
Straight bird. Yeah, well, let's not proverbial. Let's just flipping the bird straight to the NCAA.
Just right at him. Eli Manning style.
You know, you have to wonder, though. I've tried to be this hand-raised guy in a room before when there was a tweet that was about to be sent. I tried to be this hand-raised guy. Look,
if you have a problem, send it to Ole Miss at compliance.
Look, I'm just saying,
.edu.
I tried to be this hand-raised guy in a room. It did not work.
Compliance at olemiss.edu.
I tried. I tried. It fell on deaf ears, but I tried.
Clearly fell on deaf ears.
I think I would have given the same advice to Michigan on this one.
Really?
I would have. And
why?
Because look,
because it's done.
Well, he's
not coming back.
Agree. But here's the thing. And I've said this. So if you're a coach out there, a young coach, this could also be life advice brought to you by Cole Walter State Farm.
All right, here we go. Life advice coming up. Cole Walter State Farm. Cole Walter's licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. I'm heading to Georgia on Friday. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him at colewaltersinsurance.com.
So my life advice would be, look, in the media, you can go out and you can say, oh, the NCAA is toothless and this and that, and, you know, they this and that, and they really don't say anything. But when you publicly challenge the NCAA, it has a track record, even in their toothless period, of not working out well for you.
Well, especially like if Harbaugh is going to try to physically have a fight with the NCAA when they show up.
I just probably wouldn't have done that one. I probably would have sat this one out and been like, hey, you know what? Let's maybe wait till next year or whatever. I mean, I don't even know, but I probably would have sat this one out. You got to be careful because what happens, see what had happened, allegedly, per sources, what happens when you challenge the NCAA is they pull you over on the interstate for going 75 and a 70, but then they throw you in jail for 100 years. They are the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And when you piss off all three of those people at the same time, they have a way of making your life unreasonably miserable.
Yes.
And that was I probably wouldn't have done that if I was at Michigan. I'm just saying, I probably would have been like hand-raised guy. Hey, guys, you think we probably should kick this down the road just a little bit? Let's probably not a good idea to go public with this the day after he got a 4-year show calls, and we've been in the headlines for NCAA violations this week. Probably would have been, or let's just wait till closer to August 31st. Let's let the temperature drop a little bit before we make this announcement. That'd have been my advice. So, but hey, Michigan, you do you. And speaking of Michigan, Neal.
Yes.
Hot take number 2.
Oh, here we go.
For the year.
All right.
I want to remind everybody, hot take number 1 was this will be Deion Sanders' last year coaching at Colorado. That was hot take 1.
Hot take 1. Okay.
Hot take 2.
Hot take number 2, forthcoming.
I think Michigan is going to fall off a little bit this year.
Define a little bit.
8-4.
Because, I mean, a little bit. They won the national championship last year.
8-4.
Oh.
8-4.
That's a fall off a good bit.
Okay. And you got Michigan, I'm saying 8-4, 9-3-ish, okay? And Michigan the standard is here. It's at the top because they just won it, right?
Yeah.
Boosters going to be pissed off, and they're going to blame Sharon Moore. They only have 4 starters returning. Okay, now you call the 5th being a running back. He didn't start, but I will give you 5.
Okay.
They got to replace a lot of production.
Yeah.
All right. Big Ten, tougher Big Ten, the whole deal, right? Michigan boosters get pissed off and use the NCAA as a scapegoat to replace Sharon Moore after year 1.
Whoa! No, that's not a hot take. That's a flaming take.
They'll use the NCAA deal to not pay his buyout. That's why they'll make that.
That's the big green egg when the fire gets completely out of control and you start
to grease fire.
You start to panic. Yeah.
I said it was hot take.
Whew. So last season, this is the first and last season for Sharon Moore at Michigan.
Yep. because they're going to use if they fall. And I mean, dude, what would be a fall off to you? What would piss the boosters off?
Well, I mean, 4 losses would piss boosters off. They just won the national title.
Like if you lose, and they've got a lot to replace. I mean, it's a hard job for anybody.
Because 4 losses and you're completely out of the playoff
in this world
picture.
we live in now, if they got a way to not pay that buyout.
That's a Houston nut saying, by the way.
Which
in
one?
This world that we live in. He used to say that. I'm like, well, what other world would we live in than this one?
In the climate that we're currently in. How about that?
That's better.
Can that be a Neal McCreadyism in the climate?
I once asked him when he said that, in this world that we live in, I was like,
what
as opposed to?
Well, some days I think that you are on another world, but
is there another world?
Yeah, so that's
all right.
I think they use
that's big.
If they fall off, which I think they very easily can, at 9-3, 8-4, and it pisses the right people off, they can use this NCAA a way not to pay his buyout.
All right, so let's transition this one to the Big Ten.
Yep.
Everybody's picking Ohio State.
Yep.
We'll talk AP poll in a minute.
Yep.
Actually, it might give us a point to bring up the AP poll now. We'll talk AP poll in a little bit. AP poll out today. Let me find it. As you know, Monday's a busy day for me. I get quite a bit of screens going, but I got it here. AP poll out today. Georgia number 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon now in the Big Ten 3, Texas 4, Alabama 5, Ole Miss 6, Notre Dame 7, Penn State, Michigan 8 and 9. Florida State is 10. I gotta find the rest of it. That just top 10.
I got you. Missouri 11.
Okay.
Utah 12. LSU 13. Clemson 14. Tennessee 15. Oklahoma 16. Oklahoma State 17. Kansas State 18. Miami of Florida 19. Texas A&M 20. Arizona 21. Kansas 22. USC as in Southern Cal.
Big Ten
23. North Carolina State 24. And Neal's
Hawkeyes, baby.
Hawkeyes 25.
Let's go.
All right, so we talked about SEC and all that stuff. All right, first of all, my question to you, Neal, my interview question to you is how many Big Ten teams do you think
make the tournament,
make the playoff, and who are they?
3. Okay. Ohio State. I think the AP poll has it right.
Okay.
It's Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. I think they've got it right.
I'm going to say 4.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the same 3 you just mentioned. I agree that it's Oregon, Ohio State. That's easy to me. Penn State is a lot easier than when you look at their schedule. I mean, it's extremely manageable to get to 10 wins. And
they typically do.
Yeah, it's an extremely manageable schedule.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you get to 10 wins in the Big Ten, you're in. I think it's like the SEC. 10 and you're in, right?
Probably.
My 4th team. Give me the Iowa Hawkeyes getting to 10-2 and getting in.
There was concern about their scrimmage on Saturday that Cade McNamara and the offense looked anemic. Now, that's 2 things, right? Yeah, I know.
Huh?
What's interesting, in all seriousness for a minute, what's interesting about like Iowa when they scrimmage is that it's become a running punchline, which I get it. It's funny, ha, ha, ha. But their defense is elite. I mean, their defense is really, really good. Like if Iowa were a average offensive team, there'd be several years they would have been in the conversation. They are that good on defense. So when that happens in an early scrimmage, is it the offense sucks? Is it the defense is way ahead?
And it's so hard, dude.
Yeah.
It's even coaches don't know. Like there's many years you go in, you go, man, we're either really good on offense or we suck on defense, or vice versa.
And also, right,
somebody's going to win.
I played enough football to know this, that after you've played against the same people 10, 15, 20 days in a row, you sort of know what's coming. You have the scouting report. You have all the tells.
Yes.
And so typically that favors the defense.
Yeah, especially early in camp, right?
Yeah, I played defense. If we knew what the offense was doing, we knew what was coming. I knew, okay, this is the tight end. When he comes over here, this is the play they're running. I know how he's going to attack me. I know the routes. I recognize the routes after a while. I know, okay, that means he's underneath. He's coming over the top. He's crossing. You start to see that does cheat into your brain.
All right, you're an Iowa fan. Get me to 10 right here. You ready?
Yeah.
Illinois,
1,
Iowa State,
2,
Troy,
3,
Minnesota,
4,
Ohio State.
4.
Skip me. Hang on. There we go. Washington at home.
5,
Michigan State,
6,
Northwestern,
7,
Wisconsin at home.
8,
UCLA,
9,
Maryland,
10,
Nebraska.
11.
There you go.
I can easily get to 10.
So I feel like it's easy for me to get them to 10.
Yeah.
I got Ohio State and somebody else.
Now the problem, I love you, and if this happens, I'll fight for you. But if you're 10-2, and let's say the 2 L's are Ohio State, which wouldn't hurt them, and
like a Wisconsin or somebody.
let's call it Washington.
Washington, yep.
What's your best win?
Yeah, it's going to be the same Missouri debate, right?
Yeah.
But I think if you're in the Big Ten, in my opinion, or the SEC, that's going to save you, as opposed to doing the same thing like a Louisville lose.
You know, grind. You're going to come in here, grind, and talk about FPI has Iowa going 6-6, 7-5. Let me tell you what the FPI can't take into account. It can't take into account Hawkeye fever, the Hawkeye spirit.
What are we
The
doing,
FPI,
man?
the FPI grind doesn't turn and wave at a hospital and turn around and go, we're going to do it for them.
They don't get it.
The FPI doesn't get
They don't
any
get
of that grind, okay? The FPI gets none of that. The FPI doesn't understand. Where's my helmet?
So I was looking for it. I got you.
The FPI doesn't understand the pride that comes with this helmet right here. This is what the FPI doesn't understand right here. Not everybody gets to put this on. Not everybody gets to wear this. Not everybody gets to put this on and know what it makes your heart do. FPI can't manage that, can't measure that. FPI might look at snap counts and who's back and who got recruited and what maybe margin of victory was. But the FPI's never put this on.
Hey,
that's what I'm trying to explain to Grind and all the doubters out there.
Hey, remind me to send you down to the equipment guy, get snugged up a little bit.
It's a little big.
You got.
It's a little big.
We have some CTE
I've been
issues
running
after the
a lot
season.
lately, you know, I've lost a little.
No, I think they can get to 10. I do. I'm putting them in there. I think we get 4 in. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's like you got to buckle up, right? Trying to be
you got to
cool.
you got to get you a new chin strap. That one right there. That's one of those. They don't even wear those chin straps anymore. That's a non-existent chin strap.
Well, this wasn't meant to be worn in
You know
the
what's
field
funny
of battle.
is they
This
all
was
come
meant-
on. I
This
know
was meant to be a celebratory helmet.
those chin straps. They come on every helmet when you buy them, and not one human. I bet you there's not one player in America using that chin strap this year.
I mean,
But it comes on
I would
every
hope
helmet.
not.
It comes on every helmet.
I would hope not.
You need some stitches on your chin on that
You'd
one.
get popped a little.
Yeah. I never even wore a chin strap like that. So anyway, I think you get 4 in. I do. I think Iowa has a chance to get there, and that's saying it's somebody else. But I think there's 4 in the Big Ten. I think you're going to have 4 in the Big Ten, 4 in the SEC. You're going to have your 9 teams going to be your Group of 5 representative, and then you got either the ACC or the Big 12. I'm probably leaning ACC probably gets 2 in. Big 12 gets 1 in. That's kind of where I'm at with my numbers.
SEC gets at least 4. Big 10 gets 3. Big 12 gets 1. ACC gets 1. Group of 5 gets 1. So that puts me at.
Well, you got like
that puts me
6 more spots left.
That puts me at 10. And so if you told me that who gets the other 2, I'll probably go Big 12 gets another one, and I think the SEC might get 5.
So you think the Big 12 will get a second one before the ACC?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just the
ACC
opposite.
sucks.
I mean, the Big 12, I think you're going to see.
So the Big 12, you got a real shot of like getting Utah.
So you got Utah, Oklahoma State,
Kansas State. So if you told me that
Kansas.
in Kansas too. So if you told me that 2 of those 4 make it, I buy it.
Yeah.
ACC, I think, is a one bid league.
I'm going to bring up the Big 12 here in just a few minutes for all the people. We'll get to that in a second. All right. Before we get back to the AP poll, no, let's go ahead and do the AP poll now. We'll
I hope I didn't hurt Grind's feelings. I felt like I went after Grind there. It just was don't bring up computers and Iowa football. It's an emotional thing.
Real quick in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, Triple Mass says, "Go Cyclones! They're going to take it to the Hawkeyes this year." All kidding aside, okay, I know we're being funny and all that stuff.
But Iowa State's good.
Iowa State's going to be really good this year.
So I mean, the Big 12's not bad.
So I'll go ahead and cover this. The Big 12 to me, like. We'll cover it in a second. I'll cover it in a second because I got something I want to talk about this on another topic. Hey, let's do that. Let's go to the AP. So everybody's going to talk about the AP poll today. That's like pretty much every show on the planet today. I want to do something a little different. Okay.
And here's the thing with AP polls is it's
who cares?
It's never really mattered, but now it truly doesn't matter.
Get to 10. If you're pissed off today, this would be a good one for Coda Clip. If you're a fan, and you read the AP poll today, and you feel disrespected and pissed off, and why are they ranked high? If you've asked yourself today, why are they ranked higher than us? If you've asked yourself, if you told yourself today, you know what? We're too low, Neal. We shouldn't be 15. I'm a Tennessee fan. I shouldn't be 15. We should be 10. If you've had that conversation with yourself, one, you should probably seek better help.
BetterHelp.com/MPW. BetterHelp.com/MPW.
Two is it doesn't matter what you're ranked. Can you get to 10 wins? That's the only thing that matters. Look at your schedule. Get 100%. To 10 wins. It's the only thing that matters. That's it. Nobody is going to give two shits about who's playing in the Poulon Weed Eaters Independence Bowl come whatever date that they decide to play.
Dude, no one's going to care who's playing in the Citrus Bowl.
Facts. All right. So, all your players that have any NFL aspirations will be opting out anyway. So, it'll be like watching a spring football game. All right. So, that's where we're going to go on that. So, the avenue we're going to take today is I want to talk to Neal. Let's have a conversation. Who is not in the top 25 that you have a feeling that you think could really make noise and move up and even become a college football playoff contender?
Well, the obvious smartass answer right off the top is one of the group of 5 teams is going to be in the tournament.
Okay, who do you think from a group of 5 perspective? Who do you think? Like, what's your right now? Who kind of is leading your charge for the group of 5?
I mean, it's Memphis, Tulane,
the usuals: Boise, UTSA,
Boise. I'll give you a wild card. Western Kentucky.
Wow.
In Conference USA.
I think it's got to be Liberty, Jacksonville State, or Western Kentucky are going to fight out the Conference USA.
Everybody's just handing it to Liberty. I'm not ready to just hand it to Liberty.
Do you know who I think is going to win Conference USA, Neal?
I don't. Jacksonville State.
Let's go. The Fighting Rich Rods. That's who I'm picking for Conference USA. I would not have it any other way. I love my guy Rich Rod. I think Memphis is probably the group of 5 representative. I think they got the best roster. Know early. I mean,
literally, we use the AP poll just as a point of reference for picks and stuff. I mean, that's literally it. That is it has, to me, it has no significance. I mean, none. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter. But if your fan base is out, here are the teams. I think let's talk about who's out. So the first team receiving 111 votes, they'll be in sooner or later, is Louisville. Okay, Coach Brom has done a great job. They are going to win games. Their schedule's a little bit more difficult than it was last year. They had like a super easy schedule last year. I think they're going to lose some games. Do I think they'll be top 25? Probably. They'll probably end the season in the top 25. Here's one right here. I just saw Triple Mask in the Cooper Chevrolet chat. I'm big on these guys. Virginia Tech. They got the most returning starters in college football, and they finished hot. I'm telling you, they probably will not win the ACC, okay? But I guarantee you they're going to have something to say about it. They're going to win a lot of football games. I think they're heading right. They're loaded. I think they're going to be really good. I don't think they're quite ACC champ level, but they're knocking on the damn door. Boys that we just talked about, smooth, the SMU Mustangs. Quick, you clients, SMU Mustangs. All right?
Yeah.
Can they make a run at the ACC year one? I think that's probably a depth issue going from that quick. But, again, they're going to have something to say about it because they're going to win games, okay? Can they win 10 or 11? Probably not, but they're going. Can they be in the conversation, get to 9, and have a sure? I think they'll have.
And then I think there's probably an SEC team that's not listed here that gets in the top 25 at the end.
Oh, there's one listed at the bottom. I think it's gonna get in. You're gonna laugh. I'm gonna get booed off the show.
I mean, I'll give you some candidates right off the top. I mean,
right,
if you told me Auburn got to 8-4 and finishes top 25,
I think Auburn gets to 8-4. They'll be somewhere 23, 20. They'll be in the latter half of the top 25.
If you told me Kentucky got 8-4 and made the top 25, I buy it completely.
That is the team in the league I am personally having the hardest time with. I can see them going 6-6, and the next day I can look at it and see them going 9-3.
Well, so how good is Vandergrift? That's the question with them. Because if Vandergrift's really good, they kind of have everything else.
Because they're going to be good on defense.
If he's not, they don't.
Yeah, they're going to be good on defense. They got a couple playmakers.
And did he not play because he couldn't beat out Carson Beck, or did he not play because he's not good enough? I don't know the answer to that.
We'll all find out together.
They'll play.
But they have a huge range for me. I'm having a very difficult time with them. And I probably won't know until I watch them play. And I don't know if I'll know early in the season. I'm going to have to watch them play somebody of significance, which they're playing Georgia pretty early in the season. I think that's the first SEC game, so we'll know pretty quick.
Yeah, they have.
They play Georgia, I think, week 3.
Yeah, we're going to find out real quick with them. They play Georgia in week 3, at Ole Miss in week 5.
Yeah,
yep.
Well, all right. Let's
I mean, they play South Carolina. They play South Carolina, Georgia, and Ole Miss in the month of September.
When is the South Carolina game?
September 7th.
All right. So here's the thing: they could be 1-2 in those 3 games and still be a damn 9-3 team. You know what I mean? Like, I think I gave them both losses on that one. They got to play.
The last
Auburn
part of their schedule is pretty rough. They go after Ole Miss. They get an open date: Vanderbilt at home, at Florida, Auburn at home, at Tennessee, Murray State at home, at Texas, Louisville. No, they got to get off to a better start.
Yeah, they got to get off a better start. They got to beat on those 2. All right. So we talked about Iowa State just a second ago.
ULM?
Let's go. The fighting Bryant Vincent.
General Booty?
Let's go. The fighting Bryant Vincent. We're pulling for him every week. Here's the other one I want to talk about, which I was kind of in the Big 12. The West Virginia Mountaineers. Texas is gone. Oklahoma's gone. Garrett Green's back. They had a lot of retention. I'm telling, the Big 12 is such a, when you really start looking at the rosters and looking at the depth of the Big 12, there is so much parity. And if you told me who's going to shock you in the college football playoff, I think it's really easy to say Utah. I think it's easy to say Oklahoma State. But there's so much parity. Kansas State, yeah. Iowa State. You got Arizona. You got West Virginia. You got so many teams, and we don't talk about Kansas enough. We got so many teams. I think your surprise team is going to be the Big 12 champ. I can see somebody that nobody's talking about right now is going to win the Big 12. And I don't know who it's going to be because there's so much parity at the top. I mean, it's a ball here or there, and it's going to be nuts. That's the one I'm kind of looking for. All right, let's shift it a little bit to the NFL, and then we got one more, and then we're gonna get out of here today, Neal. Nice tight today.
We're not going to have some advice for our friend.
Yeah, he's gonna be at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the end. We're gonna wrap it. That'll be towards the end here.
Feels like he needs some advice.
He does need some life advice. We should have just waited to Cole Walters.
Well, we can double up.
We're gonna double up for Cole today.
Good.
All right, so week 1 NFL preseason is in the books. I would personally like to say congratulations to Bob Rucato, to Carson McCready. Because you are the last
he's given
two.
Up. He has surrendered. He
has. He gave up too?
But I think you could bring him back.
Well, he's about to come back.
Because he just needs hope. I'm going to tell you, when all hope is lost, it's hard to keep cheering for a football team.
I would like to say congratulations to all Bears fans that suffered for how long now?
Years.
For years. Like
years.
Circa 1985. It's been a minute.
Carson wasn't quite born then.
So before Carson was even a twinkle in his daddy's eye, there's been suffering going on in the Bears community.
I was 15.
You didn't even have a twinkle. Yeah, you may have had a couple twinkles.
I had some twinkles.
So they finally got him one.
They got those twinkles got nowhere close to home. I'll tell you that.
No world championships.
No, not at 15. That you know of? No, I'm positive. I'm positive. I mean, I had one hell of a hot relationship with Kathy Ireland, but it was sort of one-dimensional, and
No, it was two-dimensional.
it was two-dimensional. Her part of it was very much one-dimensional.
All right.
You know, I saw her. She was speaking in Oxford. After I drove by and said, Kathy Ireland, I kind of felt like I needed to go apologize.
Please tell me you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay, that'd have been all time.
Been awkward.
That'd been all time awkward.
Kind of want to listen.
Red flags.
I'd like to apologize a lot.
All right. All right. I would like to congratulate all the Bears fans because they finally got him one. I saw enough.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is that dude.
Oh, he's the
like
deal.
When you watch preseason games and that quarterback looks like he belongs, because there is a button that you go, hey.
Did you see the throw he made? He's kind of rolling to the right, and he's got a crossing. I know it's a typical throw, but it's a throw the Bears haven't made in a while.
Well, he made plays.
And he just zips it, and you're like, oh.
The ball came out different. He made plays. He checked the ball down, basically throwing it left-handed. I mean, the guy, and it wasn't just him. They got some pieces around him. I mean, look, they got DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Odunze at receiver, okay, which is better than any crew they've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Kmet and Gerald Everett both at tight end. Both of them are top 32 tight ends in the league, and you got two of them.
Well,
and you got running back, you got DeAndre Swift and Herbert.
Here's the thing. You might have more than you thought you had because whoever's fault it was, the organization, the coaching staff, Fields, whatever. That's a debate for other people. I don't know enough. If you listen to Chicago radio, you'll hear everyone getting blamed. So maybe it's a blame everyone thing. But like Cole Kmet might be better than we think he is because he just hasn't really had a quarterback to work with.
He was actually the reason that he threw an incompletion. He dropped one right in his wickets. But he's the real deal. He's really good. Like, he's really good. But I've seen enough. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've seen enough on that one. Let me tell you who else really stood out to me, Neal. I watched basically the first quarter of all the games and then watched the rookies play. Bo Nix.
I saw this. A lot of talk in Denver that Bo Nix is now winning the job.
It would be hard. It would be hard for me to not play Bo Nix because you know what you got with Jarrett Stidham. He's been around. The upside of Jarrett Stidham, he's probably more stable, but the Broncos aren't winning anything this year anyway.
Well, the question with Nix would be early in the season is reward versus development, right?
I play his ass.
He's a mature kid. So he probably is ready to go. The question you'd have is, hey, I don't want to put him out there if he's completely unready. And then it becomes this thing. And now I've created a problem that didn't exist when I could have just waited 3 or 4 weeks. Let Stidham get some snaps. Stidham's fine. He's not going to kill you. He can run the offense. Make sure that Nix is ready. And then when Nix is ready, you hand him the keys to the car. But it might be that deal where your kid gets a license. In the first few weeks, you ride with him.
Yeah.
And then finally you're like, okay, I think you're ready to drive, and here's the keys. Because the problem in the NFL is you don't get to go, here are the keys, just stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
No, you got to get on the interstate and drive through rush hour traffic and all that stuff.
His pocket presence was really good, kept his eyes downfield. And then the one that I was like, holy shit, the big time ball he threw, and it's all over the highlights, you can see it. The RPO he threw by riding it and then changing his arm angle and putting it right on the spot, and throwing it with on time and where it's supposed to be. That was a big time throw, man. And I was like, holy shit. But he was 15 of 21 for 125 and a tug. Zach Wilson's also there. But at Denver, where the situation at Denver, this is it. This is the perfect time because Sean Payton's guru. It's a perfect time to let him get his year in. And you may have you something there.
Well, Payton knows how to develop a quarterback in a year where there is no pressure.
Spencer Rattler looked pretty good, especially for a 5th round pick. He's really good.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I probably want to see, series here and there. I want to see a little bit more with everybody else. But for those 3, Spencer Rattler, I was like, okay, that's not a miss for a 5th round pick. You got your guy, or you got a backup for a 5th round pick. So that was good.
I love those Jets road uniforms.
Yeah, I'm an all white.
Nice.
I know the helmet, but I'm an all white. Anything all white on the road, I'm in. All right. Last thing before we get to our little life advice here. We should do a poll on this show.
Okay.
and we can call it the reality poll. I don't care what we do. I get asked this a lot, when we're doing the lives on TikTok and stuff like that. They'll be like, when do you ever think, Stoops will get over the hurdle, or why can't Sam Pittman get it done in Arkansas, or hey, is Beamer ever going to get it done in South Carolina? You've probably heard those questions a gazillion times in your whatever in the stuff that you do, right?
Yeah.
We should do a poll. Okay. This is called the reality poll. Fans not going to like it, but it is what it is. Coaches should be judged based on the resources that they have to pay their players. Period. When you're a coach of a team and you're in a league and your fans want you to win the league, they want you, but when you look up and you go, wait a minute, their payroll, there's like 6 teams whose payroll is 5 times what I have.
Well, I think that's where the disconnect comes in. I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree with you, but this is the part of the problem that I think the sport has. Okay?
Okay.
I really think this is a problem. There is no transparency. So you don't really know what everyone has. Like if you are a Baltimore Orioles fan, okay?
Yep.
You know that the Orioles are in a division with the Yankees, the Red Sox, teams that have higher payrolls than you. Not only that, you know specifically how much higher they are, so that when your team wins, there's an appreciation for the process that it took to win. If you're a Cubs fan, for example, there's a frustration that your team's not spending more than it is because you know down to the penny what they're spending. This is an NBA thing. You know, hey, my team didn't keep X player because we're up against this second apron. This is what it would mean. There's college football today has rumors.
Yep.
I mean, I'll give you a swing. I heard one the other day said this team's NIL salary package is $12 million. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty good. And then I asked somebody else, and they said, no, it's more like 7. Well, that's a big damn difference.
About half.
Is it 12 or is it 7?
Big difference.
Because if it's 12, the expectation should be you should make a deep run. Now, if it's 7, the expectation should be, oh, well, you should make the tournament. I think because I don't know what everybody else is making. That's the problem. And it's one of my things with college football. And maybe it's coming with the breakaway and the leagues become something else. I do think transparency is needed. And fans don't like this. Fans don't want this for whatever reason. They don't want it out. They're like, well, you wouldn't want people to know exactly what you make. And I'm like, well, but that's different. You're apples to cantaloupes.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a very valid point.
If you want to really do the poll you're talking about, and I'm for it, by the way. I mean, that's why the manager of the Orioles who gets manager of the year, right? It's because not only did his team win the AL East, it's, your team with those resources won the AL East ahead of the Yankees, ahead of the Red Sox, ahead of the Blue Jays. There's a big damn difference.
There was a movie made about it.
It's why don't even get started on that movie. But it's why the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
The Dodgers, the expectation is, well, you should win
every year.
You should win the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're spending
gazillions of dollars,
precipitously more dollars than the Giants, than the Rockies, than the Padres, than everybody else in the National League. If you square off in a 7-game series against the Braves, your payroll is double that of the Braves. You should beat the Braves. And when you don't beat the Braves, 2 things get said. Well, you spent all this money, it didn't work, and look at the Braves, they overachieved. Or look at the Phillies, or look at whoever. Whatever. The Brewers. Like, the Brewers front office deserves all the awards this year because they have a payroll that's like 1/4 of what the Dodgers is, and yet they have basically the same number of wins. So you don't have that in college football. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's a major, major lacking thing.
Like you look at the SEC, okay, because that's obviously what I understand what their payroll is, very, very close. But you got the bottom part of the league is getting outspent by 400%.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
But if their coach doesn't win, they want to win the championship.
Well, yeah. So if Shane Beamer goes 4-8, for example, at South Carolina, I think part of the conversation should be, okay, so he goes 4-8, and let's say in this scenario, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, and then pick another one, Ole Miss or
Texas
Missouri.
A&M, Ole Miss,
Pick
Missouri,
one. Let's say
Tennessee.
Let's say 4 of those teams make the playoff. Let's say 4 of those teams make the playoff.
LSU.
I think you should be able to go, okay, well,
Florida.
I think you should be able to, well, what is South Carolina's NIL? What is their salary package? And if you say, well, it's $10 million. I'm making up numbers. I have no freaking clue.
Right.
It's part of the problem.
Yes.
Okay, well then what was Texas? What was Alabama? What was Ole Miss? What was whatever? And then, well, if 2 or 3 of those is also, and I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I'm not, these are not real numbers. Let's say 2 or 3 of those is also 10. Well, then he underachieved like effing mad, fire him. But if you go, well, they had 22, they had 26, they had 19, and they had 40. He had 10. Oh, well, that's kind of a difference maker.
I just hope the people making that decision do understand that. They know what the number is.
But they're unwilling to talk about it.
But when they go to make a decision,
but they won't talk about it, right? If you end up going, like, I'd have more respect for an AD that goes, you know what, we're not firing blank, and we're not firing him because, quite frankly, he did a really good job. Our NIL salary package this year was X million. That is 1/7 of what this.
It ranked 12th in the SEC, and we finished 10th.
Here's the truth, people. Say what you want to say. Before we can judge him against him, he's got to have the same resources. And then if he has those resources and he still doesn't get it done, well, then, yeah, he's got to go. He sucks. But we don't know that, right? You don't know, like, I thought you had 2 good examples. Shane Beamer, Sam Pittman, 2 guys that are very much on the hot seat. I mean, I think Pittman's seat is so hot that he can't survive it. Should it be? I don't know. I don't know. How much are they working with? What percentage does Arkansas have as compared to Alabama, as compared to Texas, as compared to Georgia? I don't know. Beats the hell out of me. You might have a better clue.
I do. I can't say anything, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. The average fan doesn't know.
Yeah. And then,
I mean, if I called Walker Jones today at Ole Miss, he'd take my call. If I called Walker and said, what is your NIL? He wouldn't tell me, nor should he. But if it were out there public, it would be a service.
Allegedly, they're supposed to be getting some transparency with this new settlement, but I'll believe that when I see it.
The settlement.
Wake me up when it's over.
I'm not even talking about that stupid settlement.
Me neither. All right, Neal. Got to talk about this, dog. All right. Out in Colorado.
Oh, boy.
Our good friend Deion Sanders.
Coach Prime.
Couldn't help himself.
Foul. It was foul.
And
what was it that was foul, by the way?
So
what was the story that was so foul?
You talking about the reporter?
Yeah, no. The big CBS story that was foul.
First of all, I don't know what his issue with CBS was, right? So if you haven't seen it, he was doing a press conference. The local CBS affiliate out of Denver,
right,
went to ask him a question. And just like any press conference, they'll say your name and affiliation. Well, he said CBS. He refused to even take his question because of an issue that he has with CBS National.
Where are my sunglasses? I wish I had my sunglasses up here because, you know, when you tell a man to look you in the eye and you're wearing sunglasses, I would have loved if the guy at CBS Denver said, Coach, I can't see your eyes. I don't know why you're wearing sunglasses right now, but I cannot see your eyes. I'll take your word for it.
The guy's trying to do his job. And CBS has got what? 20,000 employees, 10,000, 20,000 employees, a bunch. And you can't not allow the guy to do his job because you've got a problem with probably one person or 2 people at CBS that, you know, probably when before he started coaching was trying to do some broadcasting deal or whatever. I don't even know what his issue is. I have no idea. But you can't, I mean, like Deion Sanders is arguably one of my favorite players ever growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was like prime my growing up, right?
Yeah.
When I'm a Falcons fan, so from the Falcons to the Cowboys to the 49ers.
Did the
double with the Braves.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Braves fan. I mean, I'm loved Deion as a player. But you can't when you're doing
he played for the Reds and the Falcons at the same time. Is that what it was?
No, he played for the Braves and the Falcons.
Braves and Falcons.
And he may have played. He played the Reds and somebody. I mean, he played for the Yankees. He's played for everybody, right?
Yeah.
He was my favorite athletes. Probably not named Bo Jackson. Me growing up.
Sure.
So he's probably my second favorite player growing up.
He was a superstar. Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, love him. He's one of my all-time favorites. And when he goes and has a press conference as a head coach, you got to answer the question. That's the whole point of having a press conference. That should have been handled if there was any issue, and you've been in these press conferences, probably has never happened to you, but if the SID is worth anything. And he said that's something that the SID you would handle beforehand and say, hey, look, I'm not dealing with CBS for whatever reason. And you don't address, you make sure that they know that. And that's embarrassing. All right, that guy's trying to do his job. And I don't know, man. I'm having a tough time. He better win.
This is where he would have been served if there was someone in the room who could have said, Coach, Mr. Sanders, Coach Sanders, Deion, Coach Prime, someone needs to explain to you, this is not a great idea.
Hello, Neal.
Hello, Joker.
Back from my vacation.
Hell of a vacation.
Been about 7 months. How we doing?
Oh, we're good. We're discussing your favorite coach.
Yeah.
Coach Prime is he's upset at CBS. He's having a war with an entire network, and he's taking it out on local affiliates. I don't know whether Colorado has a 247 site, but 247 is owned by CBS.
No shit.
That's true.
I was on vacation and enjoying my sunshine and relaxation before, they play a game here in about 3 weeks, Neal. They're taking over the North Dakota State. So I was planning on my return for a couple of weeks from now.
Right.
But the bat signal came up, and I said, you know what? It's not the Batman anymore. It's the Joker. So I had to go to Colorado. I had to be the hand-raised guy.
Oh, you did it.
I tried. I was a little late. And he went ahead and said it. Too late. Too late. I mean, what the hell are we doing, Neal?
Joker, as a rule, having a fight with a media outlet, an entire media outlet,
like one of the major ones,
only works if you are completely in the right. When everyone is writing the same story that says about an unknown grievance, what they did was foul, and you've not really explained what it was that they did that was so foul, that typically doesn't work well for you. That doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't look good. And taking it out on a local CBS affiliate. Listen, here's the problem. It all works. You can do whatever you want to do with the media if you win. You can treat the media however you want to treat them if you win. But the moment you stop winning, especially with local guys who typically are fairly favorable to you, they're the ones that'll defend you. They're the ones that'll put things in context.
They're the fanboys, Neal.
They're typically the fanboys. I mean, I'll admit that a lot of them are kind of fanish. But even guys like that, the guy in Denver, I don't know whether he's a fan or not, he's probably typically pretty fair. If you don't win, they're going to take the gloves off.
You know what I would have said, Neal? I just try to piss off one person. I try to piss off Batman. I don't try to piss off the whole city of Gotham. Just piss off Batman. That's all I try to do. All I try to do.
Not Superman and Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
So I would have said, hey, look, let's be mad at the one guy or two guys at CBS that pissed me off. Let's don't take on a whole corporation.
Yeah.
Because you're mad. Because you know who keeps receipts, Neal?
Media.
The media keeps receipts.
They do. A lot of grudges.
So I told him I got there late. So I walked in. I was like, it was a big clusterfuck. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And I said, hey, you better win. Better win.
What did Coach Prime say about your initial hot take of the of season 3 here, where you said this will be his last season at Colorado?
I didn't say that. Siskey said that.
Oh, Siskey said it. I'm sorry.
But yeah, this will be his last year.
So you agree with Siskey?
This will be Deion Sanders' last year at Colorado.
Because he'll quit or because he'll be fired or what?
Well, because all of his kids are leaving, and he isn't sitting there watching that shit. He's out too. The good players leave, I'm gone.
You don't think he'll recruit more good players?
Don't have enough money. I stole all their NIL when I was out there last time. I went on vacation. They don't have any NIL left. They don't have any pay for play left.
Yeah.
They got plenty of NIL, probably the best NIL place in the country. But they have no pay for play. I stole all of it and went on vacation.
Good for you. You needed it.
Me and the Riddler.
Yeah. How'd that go? Y'all have a good time?
He's a funny guy.
The Riddler. Yeah.
Funny guy.
A lot of riddles.
Neal, I'll be back here in probably about, I don't know, about 17 days. We'll probably be back on a Thursday here in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I went up to North Dakota in the off season. You know, that was part of my vacation. Check out, do a little advanced work on North Dakota.
Okay. Look forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
We'll be
Joker.
ready to go here in about 2 weeks.
All right, Joker. Thanks.
Hey, see you, Neal. Hey, see Scoops.
See you, Joker. That was the Joker here on the show as we start to wrap up. McCready and Siskey. Oh, Tyler.
Dude, where'd my guy go? I miss him.
Yeah, you always miss him.
Damn.
Kind of like the Easter Bunny.
All right, Neal. I want to finish up with this. We got a couple things real quick. We got about 5 minutes. You know, part one of our anonymous recruiting stories did very well on social media.
Yeah.
A lot of people trying to guess and didn't guess correctly. A lot of bad guesses on there. So I wanted to probably tell myself a little bit, but I had to tell this story. Again, I will leave schools and players out because I don't need to get in trouble. So we talked about when you're really, it's relationships are very important on the road.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you go recruit, make sure your coaches or players will always be nice, and it's all about relationships. So very, very, very early in my career, I'm talking about like year 1 or 2 or 3, really early in my career, I was recruiting in rural Alabama, and I went to a school, and we didn't really end up going on the guy. They had a player there, it was a really dynamic player, but he was a long way from qualifying and probably undersized for what we were trying to find. So we probably wasn't going to go on him, but I really liked the kid. I liked the coach and all that stuff. And like kind of one of my jams is an academic and eligibility specialist. Like I can take a transcript and help and legally get them eligible by being creative and things like that.
Yes.
So that's always been a thing of mine, right? Been my jam.
Right.
So did not take the kid, didn't really recruit him heavy, but I helped him get eligible. And when I say help, legally help him get eligible.
Yeah.
So that he ends up getting eligible. He goes on to a school, gets a college education, which he would never gotten. I guess kind of a feel good moment. You know what I mean? Like I didn't help me out or whatever, but and the coach and especially the guidance counselor always appreciated that. Well, in recruiting, I worked really hard. And so I would go to all these schools just out in the middle of nowhere. Even if they didn't have a player, I'd always go by, see the coach and see the guidance counselors and stuff, because you never know. Well, Neal, about 10 years go by, and they got a player. I'm at a different school.
Okay.
They got a player, and I was at a group of 5 school. I'll say that. I was at a group of 5 school. They got a player, and Neal, I busted my ass recruiting this kid. And for like a year and a half, like 18 months, I'm talking about all day, every day, just busted my ass recruiting this kid. And again, rural Alabama, and like some Big 12 schools would come down and try. I fended them all off, Neal. I was like just fending all of them off, and they're too far away from home. I fended them all off. Well, the kid commits to us, and I think I've made it. So the last weekend recruiting comes and goes. He doesn't go on any visits, and I'm just like, dude, I made it.
Got him.
I got him. He committed and all that stuff, but we're signing on Wednesday. We're all good.
Finish line.
Monday, go to a staff meeting, whatever, everything's good, and go on. I get out of the staff meeting. I wasn't out of the staff meeting 10 minutes.
Uh-oh.
And my phone rings. And it's a buddy of mine at an SEC school.
Uh-oh.
And they had missed out. They were not going to get a player. And so they needed to find a player that played this guy's position.
Mm.
And not knowing, my friend had no idea. You don't know who, especially he had no idea who I was recruiting and all that stuff. He goes, hey, you got a minute? He goes, I know you recruit Alabama. Do you know anything about this kid? Player X. And I was like, yeah, know all about him. Been recruiting for a year and a half, and he committed like 6-7 months ago. He's been committed. I know all about him. Why? He goes, dude, I'm sorry. And he just started apologizing like profusely. He said, dude, I'm so sorry. I was like, what? He goes, dude, we lost this guy, and we got to take one, and I think we're going to take him. And it was one of those as SEC school. So as soon as they called, he didn't have to go visit. It was just one of those that they would call him, offer him, and he would have signed, right? And I'm just sick. Dude, I'm talking about 18 months I recruited this kid.
Yeah.
Recruited my balls off for 18 months.
And you got that close.
And I'm like the Monday before.
If that happens in July, you're like, it happens.
Yeah, July. I'm talking about this is 48 hours before signing day. And I'm just like, I'm sick. And dude, I sat there for about 10 minutes in my pity, and I decided to get up off the mat. And I had a great idea.
Okay.
So I called the coach, talked to him, and then I called the guidance counselor. Well, my buddy, my player that I'm recruiting, in January had made an ACT score that made him a qualifier.
Okay.
But they were a little slow getting it on the transcript. So I had the separate test score completely separate. They had not put it on the transcript yet.
Oh.
And so I said, I can't say her name. I said, Mrs. Such and Such. I said, do you remember about 10 years ago when I helped get this guy eligible? And you said you would do anything for me ever? And she said, I do. I said, I need one favor.
This is an ethical quandary
It is.
right here.
I'm telling it. I'm being honest.
know.
I'm telling it. I said, I need a favor. I said, this.
You need that ACT not to get
I said,
posted
this
yet.
school is going. I said, you're about to get a phone call in the next hour from this school that's going to ask you for his transcript.
Give him the old.
Give him the transcript that you got right now. Please don't put that new test score on there.
Tyler.
And she didn't. And they did not. They ended up not taking him, and I signed him.
Wow.
Had a great career. Great career. Played in the league. Great career.
Played in the NFL.
Played in the NFL. All worked out.
So he got his money.
Got everything. And here's the truth.
Does he know?
Yeah, I've told him.
Okay. What was his reaction when he was told?
He's actually said, Coach, I don't know if I'd have done it anyway. But I'd be like, appreciate you, dog, but that's how you had to do stuff like that.
Wow.
So is that unethical of me?
I mean, all's fair in love war and
I mean, that's my
recruiting.
job, right?
Right. You did your job. Is that ethical? I mean,
Because you can't say you don't know if he had gone to other school if it would have worked out.
no, it's true.
And it would have been harder for him to see the field.
Yeah, no doubt. And it worked out. He had a great career.
Yep.
Played in the NFL.
Yep.
But was it unethical?
I've always wondered that.
I mean, yeah.
But here's the thing. Would I do it again? Yes. Because that's my job.
I mean, it's one of those things that because
I don't apologize for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. It's one of those things that because it worked out the way it worked out.
But if he wasn't going to play for us, he sure as hell wasn't going to play for them either, right?
Right.
That's
I guess the thing would be if you told him that and he looked at you and said, Coach, that was my dream.
But I knew it wasn't.
Okay.
All right. It wasn't like it was his home state school. It was just an SEC school.
Just random
a
SEC
random
school.
SEC school.
No,
And it would have been away. It was out of his state. It was
Well,
not. It was not Auburn.
He
or
might
Alabama.
have told you the truth that he might have not done it.
I doubt that.
You think he would have taken
An
it?
SEC. I think he would have taken an SEC. Now I had fended off like some Big 12.
Yeah.
To be specific, Big 12 and some Big 10, like late pushes, and because he wanted to be close to home.
This was a kid from.
He was a kid from Alabama.
Okay.
From rural Alabama. I'm talking about backwoods is backwoods.
Yeah. But SEC's
Like
powerful.
you had to go-
SEC's powerful in Alabama. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So,
you took a kid away from Ole Miss. Way to go, man.
hey, sorry guys. I just did not say that, by the way.
You
Did not say that.
Did not. I'm
Did not
playing.
say that.
I'm just trying to make you
Yeah.
more of an enemy.
Yeah, is that bad of me, or was I doing my job?
You were doing your job. I think it shows the underbelly of a sport. I mean, all sports have nasty underbellies.
Hey, well,
I mean, they do.
hey,
All
for the
sports
record,
do. All sports do.
that's a lot cleaner than some of the stuff that happens.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, look, in baseball, they manipulate service time. I mean, there's always something that, yeah, I mean, yes and no on the ethics question. Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't prevent the kid from having an opportunity. He had the opportunity.
But that was my whole point was if he's going to not succeed here, he would not succeed there either. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how I slept at night.
If he wasn't going to be able to make it in the Sun Belt, he probably wasn't going to make it in the SEC.
Correct. That's how I slept at night. But yeah, and then I waited for about a week till after signing day before I let my friend know what I did, and he laughed. He thought it was great, so he didn't take it personal. So
well, in your world, your old world, but the world that you still operate in, I don't think coaches can. Like, fans get more emotional about recruits than coaches can afford to get. At some point, you got to let it go.
And the fans had no idea this kid was even a possibility at their
Right.
school. So that nobody ever considered this one. But
So somebody's rival site sucked.
hey, all right, last thing. We got 60 seconds. All right, we had a from Matt Donahoe on TikTok.
Okay.
We had a punishment idea.
Okay.
And I think this is great.
All right.
All right.
I'm listening.
If you lose,
When I lose.
when
I lose.
the spring Talladega race,
Okay.
we go to the infield and you have to spend the night in a tent. We'll get you a tent and you spend the night. We'll hang out in the infield on Saturday and you got to wear a Dale Earnhardt is overrated shirt. All right. And then
I don't want to get beat up, man.
I'm not going to let anybody beat you up, dude. I will not let anybody beat you up. I promise you. I will not let. We'll have a lot of people with us that I can't say who they are that are a lot more famous than me and you.
I mean,
that are big.
You think my wife got mad at you? Let me come home with.
I will not.
Let me come home with medical bills, and
I will not allow
she
anyone to touch
beat
you.
your ass.
All right, listen. But you spend the night in a tent.
Okay.
Okay, in the infield. All right, we got connections.
We're not gonna have like some deliverance moment or something.
No,
there.
dog.
Okay.
No, dog.
Guys,
No.
I've never been.
No, it's not like. Come on, man. And then spend the night. So Saturday, so you do Speedway Boulevard, the whole giddy up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then spend the night tent. You got to like shower and all that stuff at the community showers that are in the infield for the people who camp out. You may have a deliverance moment there. Broke back scoops.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
I mean, that's your thing. It's
Right.
your thing.
Whatever.
Hey, whatever your
Hey.
thing. Hey, you know, whatever. What do you think?
I mean, I'll think about it.
That would be
funny.
There's no physical labor in that.
No, just you got to make sure that
it's got to be.
we can't be some drunk nut
We
job.
get to dress you though. We may not do that. We may not do if we do that shirt. But I'm talking about cut off blue jeans, cowboy boots, no socks, cowboy hat. We'll get you dressed right, Scoops.
Yeah, just don't let me.
And you won't even be.
Don't let me get beat up.
I will not let a single person touch you. I'll be there. I'll leave you for the night though. I'll go to my man Greg's up the deal.
All right, real fast. We're up against time too. Austin says, "What's your take on Austin Dillon?"
See, I wasn't even going to talk about NASCAR, Neal. Then I brought it up myself.
Okay.
All right. So last night, Neal, Austin Dillon hadn't won a race in 68 races. All right, and he was leading, and then they had the last pit stop, and he got passed by Joey Logano with like 2 laps to go, and it was a short track at Richmond. And so
I'm not wearing a Kamala shirt. Y'all can kiss that goodbye. That ain't happening.
No, I wouldn't even.
No
See,
chance.
then we would have to get physical.
No chance.
We can do that. Yeah, we can't do that. I won't do that to him. That was last year, but can't do that. And the spring race, it'll all be over anyway. But anyway, so he came into the last turn, Neal, and instead of hitting the brakes, he just ran right. He used Joey Logano as his brakes, just ran right through his ass and put him in the wall. So he could go win the race, because if you win a race, he's in the playoffs. Hasn't won a race in 68. Hadn't even been in position to win a race in 68 races, 60 something. And so then as he ran into him, Denny Hamlin had the momentum coming from behind him, and then he put his ass in the wall. So he wrecked 2 cars within 500 yards of each other to win the race. So my take would be, everybody's pissed at him, but if those people, you or me or anybody, was in that same exact situation, we'd do the same thing. So I mean, they know that if they had to win, they hadn't won a race in freaking 2 years, and that's the only way you get in the playoffs. You got to do what you got to do. Kind of like, hey, you got to call the guidance counselor and be like, hey,
ethics, schmethics.
It's probably not good, but it is what it is.
All right, we'll be back on Thursday with another edition of McCready and Siskey. Again, we've been brought to you by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. More than 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. They got what you need to push your limits and achieve your goals. So please check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. more.
I want to thank everybody at PTG Outdoors to remind everybody they are a Camus boat dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations on Garmin, Humminbird, and Lowrance products. You can get all your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where we replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. They have locations in Grenada, in Northport, Alabama. You can go to the online store, which I encourage you, any fishing products online store at ptgoutdoors.com.
No Tim Waltz shirts either. I think I actually would wear a.
It'll be all over by
I think I'd wear a Kamala shirt before I wore a Walls shirt.
Walls 4-4 defense is unmatched. Walls is better than Saban defense.
I keep thinking the military thing's going to come back to haunt him, but it hasn't yet. The media is just running interference, man.
No, they don't do that.
The media is the greatest blocking back in the history of politics.
They don't do that.
All right, we'll be back on Thursday. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Until then, take care.